New Year. Losar Tashidaleg. This is the Tibetan year. I don't know what Chinese year of the horse. The Tibetan year, I don't know.
2043 or something?
Maybe the yak in Tibet.
Oh,
No,
no, it's a fire horse.
it's fire horse. It's fire horse. Now that's a fast horse. So this is the Tibet Center, Kunchab Tardaling, a Buddhist meditation and study center located in New York City and northern New Jersey. This is our twice weekly presentation of the Buddha Dharma. A note of sadness on the New Year. The Dalai Lama's younger brother, Nari Rinpoche, very good friend of the Tibet Center, passed away last night in India, I assume. So we will say the 10th chapter of Shantideva's book quickly before class instead of the round of Omani Padme Hum. He was a very good man, layperson, had several kids, very helpful to our director, Nikki Vreeland. Nikki would stay at his house. We will miss him, but we want a swift return. So with a Rinpoche, may he be born a pure realm. No, we want him back. So we pray for his swift return, but more about that later. All the prayers we say are on the Tibet Center website, right up top. Just click on them. If there is anyone who has passed away, other than those who we mentioned or will mention, that you want us to pray for, put their names in the chat box as soon as you can so everyone listening will see their names and put them in their minds and pray for them. So all the prayers, as I said, are on the website. This is the prayer for the spreading of teachings throughout the length and breadth of the West. We'll start with that. By the force of the blessings of the non-fallacious three precious gems and of the truth of our pure selfless wishes, may the precious Buddhist teachings flourish and spread to the expanse of all areas throughout the length and breadth of the West. For all the people living there, together with their near ones, who have engaged in the teachings and have faith and respect for them, may all conditions adverse to their practice of the pure Dharma be dispelled, and an excellent collection of favorable conditions increase like the waxing moon. And especially for those who work on methods to accomplish the flourishing and spreading of the victorious one's teachings, which are the source of benefit and happiness, may they never be oppressed by masses of interference and adverse conditions, and may this spontaneously happen just as we have hoped and wished. The Heart Sutra. Thus have I heard once. The Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of the Vulture Peak Mountain, together with a big gathering of great monks and great bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One entered the samadhi which examines the dharmas called profound illumination, and at the same time noble Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, Mahasattva, looking at the profound practice of transcendent knowledge, saw the five skandhas and their natural emptiness. Then, through the inspiration of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to Avalokiteshvara, how should those noble ones learn who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge? And Avalokiteshvara answered, Venerable Shariputra, whoever wishes to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge should look at it like this, seeing the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Form is empty. Emptiness itself is form. Emptiness is not separate from form. Form is not separate from emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discriminating awareness, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Thus, all the dharmas are empty and have no characteristics. Unborn and unceasing. Impure or pure, they neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, since there is emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discriminating awareness, compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no objects of mind, no quality of sight, no quality of hearing, no quality of smelling, no quality of tasting, no quality of sensing, no quality of thought, no quality of mind consciousness. There are no nidanas from ignorance to old age and death, nor their wearing out. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no ending of suffering, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, no non-attainment. Therefore, since there is no attainment, the bodhisattvas abide by means of transcendent knowledge. And since there is no obscurity of mind, they have no fear. They transcend falsity and pass beyond the bounds of sorrow. All the Buddhas who dwell in the past, present, and future, by means of transcendent knowledge, fully and clearly awaken to unsurpassed, true, complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of transcendent knowledge, the mantra of deep insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering, should be known as truth, for there is no deception. In transcendent knowledge, the mantra is proclaimed. Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisoha. O Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva mahasattva should learn profound transcendent knowledge. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and praised the bodhisattva mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, Good, good, O son of noble family, profound, transcendent knowledge should be practiced just as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, Shariputra and Avalokiteshvara, that whole gathering in the world with its gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, their hearts full of joy, praised the words of the Blessed One. Refuge in Bodhisattva Vow, the heading says Generating Bodhicitta, and we say these verses 3 times. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Why do we say this 3 times? Because it's understood on the 3rd repetition, you're taking the vow. So this is not just talking about, you're making a promise. Thanks, Darren.
It's hot, right?
It's very hot. You need some hot stuff? Pour it on your back? What?
Chewy.
Wow, that is hot. The only one who can handle hot water this way was Chungla. Very hot, remember? Ay. Anyway, so to honor the passing of Nari Rinpoche, we'll do the 10th chapter of Shantideva's book. Just listen, let the meaning roll all over you. With a Rinpoche, you don't say, may he be born in a completely pure realm. No, you want him back here. So you're praying for his or her swift return. He can come back as female. It could be a female Rinpoche, whatever. So we throw out all. We're ahead of the curve here to the Tibet Center. Gender is only plumbing.
Inherently existent, there is no gender. There's no
There can't be. It's a designated thing based on plumbing. We'll do it that way. If you want to get crude and rude, which we're famous for, enough. This is the 10th chapter of Shantideva's book. It's like his wishing prayer as a result of all his achievements, and it's very sweet. He covers everything. Through the virtue of having composed this work, A Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, may all living beings come to engage in the Bodhisattva's conduct. May all beings everywhere plagued with sufferings of body and mind obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. For as long as they remain in cyclic existence, may their mundane happiness never decline, and may all of them uninterruptedly receive waves of joy from bodhisattvas. May all embodied creatures who throughout the universe experience hellish realms come to enjoy the bliss of Sukhavati. May those feeble with cold find warmth, and may those oppressed with heat be cooled by the boundless waters that pour forth from the great clouds of the Bodhisattva's merit. May the forest of razor-sharp leaves become a beautiful pleasure grove, and may the trees of knives and swords grow into wish-fulfilling trees. May the regions of hell become places of joy, with vast and fragrant lotus pools, beautified with the exquisite calls of wild ducks, geese, and swans. May the heaps of burning coals change into heaps of jewels. May the burning ground become a polished crystal floor, and may the mountains of the crushing hells become celestial palaces of worship filled with sagatas. May the rains of lava, blazing stones, and weapons from now on be a rain of flowers, and may all battling with weapons from now on be a playful exchange of flowers. By the force of my virtues, may those caught in the fiery torrents of acid, their flesh eaten away, revealing their lily-white bones, obtain the bodies of celestials and dwell with gods and goddesses in gently flowing rivers. Why are the henchmen of Yama, the unbearable buzzards and vultures, afraid? Yama is the lord of death, by the way. Through whose noble strength is joy brought upon us and darkness dispelled. Looking up, they behold in the firmament the radiant form of Vajrapani. Through the force of their joy, may they be free from wrongdoing and find his company. When they see the lava fires of hell extinguished by a rain of falling flowers mixed with scented water, immediately satisfied, they wonder whose work this was. In this way, may those in hell behold Padmapani. Friends, don't be afraid, but quickly gather here. What need is there to flee when above us is the youthful Manjagosha to dispel our fears, the tender Bodhisattva who protects all living beings, through whose might all suffering is removed and the force of joy abounds. Behold him in an enchanting palace, resounding with hymns sung by 1,000 goddesses, with the tiaras of 100 gods being offered to his lotus feet, and a rain of many flowers falling on his head, the eyes of which are moist with kindness. Upon seeing Manjagosha in this way, may those in hell cry out loud with joy. Likewise, having seen, due to the roots of my wholesome deeds, cool, sweet-smelling rain falling from the joyful clouds created by the Bodhisattvas Samantabhadra and Savanarana Viscambini, may all beings in hell be truly happy. May all animals be free from the fear of being eaten by one another. May the hungry ghosts be as happy as the people of the northern continent. May they be satisfied by a stream of milk pouring from the hand of the noble Avalokiteshvara, and by bathing in it, may they always be cooled. May the blind see forms, may the deaf hear sounds, and just as it was with Maya Devi, may pregnant women give birth without any pain. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food, may the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy, may the forlorn find new hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their illness, and may every disease in the world never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting one another. May all travelers find happiness wherever they go and without any effort. May they accomplish whatever they set out to do. May those who sail in ships and boats obtain whatever they wish for, and having safely returned to the shore, may they joyfully reunite with their relatives. May troubled wanderers who have lost their way meet with fellow travelers, and without any fear of thieves and tigers, may their going be easy and without any fatigue. May those who find themselves in trackless, fearful wildernesses, the children, the aged, the unprotected, those stupefied and the insane, be guarded by beneficent celestials. May all beings be free from all states of no leisure, and be endowed with faith, wisdom, and kindness, with food obtained in a proper manner and excellent conduct. May they be mindful throughout their lives. May all beings be without want for wealth, just like the treasury of space, and without it being the source of dispute or harm, may they always enjoy it as they wish. May those who have little splendor come to be endowed with majesty, and may those whose bodies are worn with toil find magnificent and noble forms. May all lower life forms in the universe take rebirth in higher forms. May the lowly obtain grandeur, and may the proud be humbled. By the merits I have accumulated, may every single being abandon all forms of wrongdoing and perpetually engage in virtue. May they never be parted from the awakening mind, and may they always engage in the Bodhisattva's conduct. May they be cared for by the Buddhas and relinquish the actions of devils. May sentient beings have lives inconceivably long when in fortunate realms. May they always live in contentment, unfamiliar with even the word death. May there abound in all directions gardens of wish-fulfilling trees filled with the sweet sound of Dharma proclaimed by the Buddhas and their children. And may the land everywhere be pure, smooth and devoid of any rocks, level like the palm of the hand and of the nature of lapis lazuli. For all circles of disciples, may many bodhisattvas dwell in every land, adorning them with their excellent manifestations. May all embodied creatures uninterruptedly hear the sound of Dharma issuing from birds and trees, beams of light, and even space itself. May they always meet with the Buddhas and their children, the bodhisattvas. And then may these spiritual masters of the world be worshipped with endless clouds of offerings. May celestials bring timely rain so that harvest may be bountiful. May kings act in accordance with the Dharma and the people of the world always prosper. May all medicines be effective. And may the repeating of mantras successful. May the Kinis, cannibals, and the like be endowed with compassionate minds. May no living creature ever suffer, commit wrong, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, or their minds ever be depressed. In all temples and monasteries, may reading and recitation flourish and remain. May the Sangha always be in harmony, and may their purposes be accomplished. May monks desiring to practice find quiet and solitary places, and through having abandoned all wandering thoughts, may they meditate with flexible minds. May nuns be materially sufficient, abandon quarreling with each other, and be unharmed. Similarly, may all ordained ones never let their morality weaken. Having repented any moral faults, may transgression always be eradicated, and thereby obtaining a happy state of birth, may spiritual conduct not decline even there. May the wise be honored, and may they receive alms. May their minds be completely pure, and may they be renowned in all directions. May beings not experience the misery of lower realms, and may they never know any hardships. With a physical form superior to the gods, may they swiftly attain Buddhahood. May sentient beings again and again make offerings to all the Buddhas, and may they constantly be joyful with the inconceivable bliss of the Buddhas. Just as they intended, may the bodhisattvas fulfill the welfare of the world, and may all sentient beings receive whatever the Buddhas have intended for them. Similarly, may the Pracheka Buddhas and the Shravakas find happiness. And until I reach the level of the Joyous One, through the kindness of Manjughosha, may I be mindful throughout my lives and always obtain ordination. May I live and be sustained by simple, common foods. And in all my lives may I find the ideal solitude for practicing Dharma. Whenever I wish to see something or even wish to ask the slightest question, may I behold without any hindrance the Lord Manjughosha himself. In order to fulfill the needs of beings who reach unto the ends of space, may my way of life be just like that of Manjughosha. For as long as space endures, and for as long as living beings remain, until then may I too abide to dispel the misery of the world. May all the pains of living creatures ripen solely upon myself, and through the might of the Bodhisattva Sangha, may all beings experience happiness. May the teachings which are the sole medicine for suffering and the origin of every joy be materially supported and honored and abide for a very long time. I prostrate to Manjughosha, through whose kindness wholesome minds ensue, and I prostrate to my spiritual masters, through whose kindness I develop. Nari Rinpoche, old friend, please come back soon. We need you. So that ends the preliminaries. And now, since it's New Year, we're going to hear a little poetry, a little Milarepa, little beverages. This is from a book recently done by Alan Wallace and Eva Natanya, both who speak Tibetan. So they translate a lot of this stuff. Basically, it's small pieces of advice, 2 pages, 3 pages, on the topics of samatha, calm abiding, whatever, and vipassana, insight. Samatha, calm abiding first, then vipassana. It's in that thing. Concentration, the 5th paramita, and 6th is wisdom, which is you get at through vipassana. Special seeing is the word. In Sanskrit, that's what it means. But you got to have a calm mind to stay on the other. So that's that. Anyway, this is a poem called A Shower of Cities, Guidance in the View of the Middle Way as a Song of the 4 Recollections, by the 7th Dalai Lama, Losang Kesang Gyatso. The sixth was somewhat of a renegade. The 7th is very, very religious, very mystical, very prolific poet and writer. A big deal. So this is his poem about the benefits of viewing the Guru as a Buddha, etc., and then realizing your own inner nature is similar. So we could do a verse at a time. You want to stop, comment, complain, whatever you want. This is kitchen table Buddhism here, nothing formal. So this is about like 7, 8 verses. That's all. He lived in the 1700s. This is a shower of cities. Upon the immutable seat of skillful means and wisdom, united as one, method and wisdom united as one, sits the kind Guru who is of the essential nature of all sources of refuge. He's everything. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. She's everything. A Buddha, replete in the abandonment of all obscuration and realization of all things, right there. Abandoning all critical thoughts, what should you do? Abandoning all critical thought, supplicate him or her with pure perception. We can wander around about pure perception, but it's a big topic, so to understand that. Without letting your mind wander, rest in a state of admiration and reverence. Recalling this without forgetting it, sustain this state of admiration and reverence. In other words, you sit on that. You bring up that mood. You're happy to be in that mood, and that's affecting you deep down. Next verse. Within the prison of limitless samsara's agony, yay, we know that's true, wander sentient beings of the 6 classes, bereft of happiness. The 6 classes, of course, you all know. 6 types of being in this, at least the desire realm, among animals, hungry ghosts, blah, blah. Who are they? Your very own parents who have nurtured you with such care right there. All these beings in the past we've been sons and daughters of, and we've been their parents too. Here they are, suffering. Abandoning attachment and aversion, cherish and arouse compassion for them. Without letting your mind wander, rest in a state of compassion. Recalling this without forgetting it, sustain this state of compassion. Obviously, this is a working prayer, an instructive. And you can make a whole meditation out of this for as long as you like on each verse. If I can turn the page, you'll hear more. Next verse. Within the divine palace of great bliss, delightful to experience. He's addressing, if you have these experiences, he's addressing your potential to have them in your inner mind, which is already there. Dwells your own body with its pure aggregates and elements as a divine body, seeing yourself now as having attained Buddha. This is a tantric part. A personal deity in whom the 3 kayas are indivisible right there. So Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Rupakaya. Rupakaya is the ordinary thing that we could see. Sambhogakaya only can be seen by high bodhisattvas and other Buddhas. What good is that to us? Hey, so that's just a minute. Without grasping to the ordinary, forget about your ordinary appearances. When you start class with beautiful ladies, handsome gentlemen, and then say, forget your ordinary appearances. Oh, bit of a hook. Without grasping the ordinary, train in divine pride and luminous appearance. Divine pride and luminous appearance. Divine pride is not like normal pride. It's not bloat. It's based on fact, based on your realization of what your true nature is. So it's not a puffed up idea of who the hell you are. As we know from watching the media, we see a lot of examples of this. Without letting your mind wander, again, rest in a state of the profound and luminous. Recalling this without forgetting it, sustain this state of profound and the luminous. The mandala of knowable appearance and possible worlds, that's tough, is pervaded by the space of the actual nature of reality, the ultimate clear light. The ineffable, actual nature of existence, right there. Abandoning mental fabrications, attend to the essential nature of sheer emptiness. You probably embrace the clear light here or something close to it, I would think. I don't know. I would love to have a commentary on this by Ling Rinpoche. Let's kidnap him right now. Without abandoning mental fabrication, attend to the essential nature of sheer emptiness. In other words, don't lay on your idea what things are. Abandon that fabrication. Without letting your mind wander, rest in a state of the actual nature of reality. Recalling this without forgetting it, sustain this state of the actual nature of reality. At the crossroads of the various appearances to the six collections of consciousnesses. Six collections of consciousnesses you got. Eye, nose, touch, taste, etc., and mental. Okay? Observe the haze of dualistic phenomena, this and that. We're estranged from the world when we're really not. Devoid of any basis or root, a deceptive, illusory spectacle right there. What we see is not what's there. It's illusory. That's why they say illusory. So we see, ordinary people. Without thinking of it as real, attend to the essential nature of emptiness. Without letting your mind wander, rest in a state of appearances and emptiness. Recalling this without forgetting it, sustain this state of appearances and emptiness. Thus, he writes, so that I may and others establish the habitual propensities for becoming familiar with the authentic view, I, Lozang Kesang Jatsu, a bhikshu, follower of Shakyamuni, composed this song, Guidance of the Four Collections, consisting of special practical instructions that the noble Manjushri directly bestowed upon great Dharma King Tsongkhapa. If you read Tsongkhapa's poems and his life story, etc., what Manjushri told him when he finally saw him directly, and it's just like you see your hand in front, that kind of, you could talk like we're talking now with Manjushri. That's written out, and this is a poem based on that. So maybe one day we'll bring that one in. It's around in different books. So Milarepa, once a year at least, we got to talk to Milarepa. He's our friend. He's still around. Who knows where?
Isn't somebody an emanation of Milarepa?
I'm sure they're claiming it if they're not.
I think it's Rinpoche or somebody who's...
What's he wearing? That's how we find out. If he's well dressed, get him out of here. Now I lost the page. I thought I'd marked. There probably are, or many emanations. They could send out Milarepa's speech, Milarepa's mind, Milarepa's body. They could do things like that. He's a Buddha, in my opinion. I want to do the Tseten one. I can't even pronounce the name because it's a very basic beginning stuff. Tashit Sek, there it is. Sek. Page 673. This is a great book by this poor fellow who translated this so ably with notes and everything. Died prematurely in a car accident. He was in England studying in the West Coast. And let's say it's at the 673, 659. Shouldn't do that in a nice book. Tashit Sek. Each chapter has a different name, or meeting Shara, so-and-so, or the pigeon goddesses. Remember that poem of the pigeon goddesses? Oh, yeah, well, maybe we can do that tonight. It's not too long. Song of the Pigeon Goddess is very interesting and quick. Anyway, Tashi said, Namo Guru. When the Jetson Milarepa was at Ladro in Drin, wherever that is, it's by the 7-Eleven, yeah, there was a benefactor named Tashi Tsek who offered his service to the Jetson. At that time, there were many benefactors receiving Dharma teachings. Tashi Tsek said, Jetson, when I hear lots of Dharma taught like this, in the short term, I have a feeling of great joy, although I don't think I will be able to do a great deal of both practice and study. Since the Jetson himself has done meditation practice, I now have faith in what meditation can do. Ultimately, would I be most happy doing meditation? Otherwise, I don't know if I could, but it's useful. Explanations are given and trained in for the sake of meditation. That's what Milarepa says. Therefore, if one studies without practicing and meditating, then study is useless. Then he sang the Song of Realization. In other words, got to do both. So now he goes into his poem. And for some reason, the poem doesn't start with homage to his guru. Teaching Dharma without practice just brings pride. These are very simple little statements. A son adopted but not cared for becomes a destructive demon. Without instruction, a load of books is a useless burden. Without transmission, they're the yoke of swindlers. Whom will they benefit? In other words, you got to have the living yeast that passes on along with it. You need both, but you need the Guru's teachings, either directly or indirectly. When hearing the deception of the provisional yana, one is happy, but one wants to hear the definitive speech of the Guru. But no one, rather, wants to hear this. So everybody's happy with blah, blah, blah speech, the entertaining speech. No one wants to hear the definitive, the last word of the Guru. Faithful benefactors and disciple sons, practice sublime Dharma. Don't listen to those who are heedless and deceptive. Rely on humble, true words that are without fault. Good teachers not showing off, he or she's coming out of their heart. Thus he sang. Then Milarepa said, if you want to definitely practice the Dharma, do lots of training. It will be helpful. If you practice for a while in accord with its meaning, if you talk a lot, you'll just become confused towards the higher and lower views. And doing many seemingly good things without truly taking hold of the mind, you will be deceived. You have to be mindful when you do these good things. Hold on to the mind. A little bit like that. If you have great attachment to this mundane world, though you may practice Dharma, your practice will be full of hypocrisy. Furthermore, some Dharma practitioners focus on their own few accomplishments and, developing pride about the good quality of those, lose their faith in the good qualities of the previous masters and do not receive any blessing. You're so busy being the full cup that nothing can be put into you. Things like that. Yeah. If you think you have lots of leisure to practice Dharma when actually there is no leisure at all, then when death comes, what is there to do? You should use all of the Dharma understanding you have in practice by looking inwardly. If someone does not combine study and practice into one, they may know a lot and think, I should practice, but there will be no end to what can be intellectually known. That's endless. If you speak with a noble master rich in the Dharma, he will say there is not a bit of the Dharma that one doesn't need. You will have lots of profound key instructions, but will not know which ones to actually practice at the particular stage of your development. That's a big deal. There's a lot there. We've spoken to the guy at this level, the woman at that level, etc. You have to know that by instruction. You may choose one to practice, but then when signs of experience do not come, you may think, should I be doing a different practice? And no accomplishment of any kind will ever come. You're over here, you're over there. It will be like someone who studies something new for a long time but forgets what he knew before, like a flower in the hand of a child. Then Milarepa sang this song of realization. Key of G, please. Listen again, faithful benefactors. Not understanding the strength of the truth of Dharma, evil ones hope to attain liberation, but they are pained by the passing of days, months, and years. Unhappy ones are joyful when the days and months go by. Will this season be a good one, they always ask, without being aware the human life passes on. This is the discernment of a foolish man. Oh, another year, blah, 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 blah. Getting shorter, as Chung used to. Why do people celebrate their birthday? Getting shorter. If it got longer, then they should celebrate. I like that. It's pretty good. If you're truly determined to practice the Dharma, make offerings to pure objects. Take refuge in the three precious jewels. Give service to the Guru Lord. In other words, all the prep work that wipes away a lot of obstacles. Be respectful to each of your parents. Give generously without hope of repayment. If you hope for repayment, it's a business deal. It's a transaction. That's all. All right. You do that in business. You don't do it here. Do benefit to those who are powerless. Engage in contact with your mind stream concordant with Dharma. If you practice Dharma, you don't need much. Having many commitments is false. And he explains and says it's false because you can't keep them. Be realistic. Poor Maya used to run around. I said, there's only, condense them down. She used to stay up till 4 a.m. So, but she got the words. Look to see if your mind stream is joined with these. In other words, it's for real. Thus he sang. Then the benefactor said, what you have said is easy to understand and helps our mind. We will practice in accord with your instructions. Please give us more Dharma advice that is appropriate for our understanding. The Jetson replied, if you listen, I have many excellent methods to share. Will you listen? We will most certainly listen. Please tell us, they said. Well then, since it will be beneficial to you in both this life and the next, hint, hint, it would be excellent if you did this. Then he sang this song of realization. Well then, male and female benefactors, if you want to cultivate the ultimate crop and you will listen to what I say, here he goes. Every being will surely die. Therefore, it's excellent to practice genuine Dharma. Though you gather illusory wealth, it will slip away. Therefore, it's excellent to practice generosity. That's the real wealth, you giving. Though you have deep love for worldly relatives, they will part from you. Therefore, it's excellent to meditate on non-duality. Though you build illusory castles from earth, they will collapse. Therefore, it's excellent to keep to solitary places. Though you food and drink for your body, it will all be used up. Therefore, it's excellent to accumulate merit, which gets you more food and body. We're almost at the end. So there is no end to conditioned activities. Therefore, it's excellent to abandon activity. Foolish speech will never be exhausted. Therefore, it's excellent to go without talking. When you have to talk, you talk. The key instructions alone are like rubbing oil on skin. Therefore, it's excellent to follow a learned guru. And then he explains this learned guru. If one only receives key instructions, a good footnoting in this book. If one only receives the key instructions without understanding the ultimate view, then these instructions are just like rubbing oil on the skin, which just stays on the surface. Those instructions alone cannot fully penetrate one's mind stream. This is thick. This is heavy. Therefore, one must rely on a guru who is learned and can explain the ultimate view and meaning of the instructions. The surface hearing, you'll agree and all that, but may not change you. A guru's blessing, giving that out, and you really opening up to it, will change you. It'll go deep. Experience is like the moon shining upon darkness. And the footnote here again. The moon eliminates the darkness only when it is present, but when it sets, the darkness returns. Likewise, meditative experiences are only passing, and one must meditate continually or the experiences will not become stable. Nice advice. Experience is like the moon shining upon darkness, therefore it's excellent to meditate like a flowing river, constant. These excellent 10 basic key points arose in the Repa yogi's mind. Men and women of Drin, this is your Dharma lot. Thus he sang. All the men and women benefactors there took refuge, roused bodhicitta, dedicated and made aspirations. All of them developed the Dharma outlook. Many of them became meditators and some developed good experiences. This is the cycle of Tashi Tsek. These are like, things, Milarepa's prayer is a wild man. Like, there's hot information here. That's very good. Nicely put, in nice tablet form.
Can you do one of the pigeons?
The pigeon goddess, what time is it? We could probably fit it in. Let me find it. There are a few of them, a few pigeons gathered. Good thing he was wearing a hat. No, he wasn't. Song of the Pigeon Goddess. What the hell is it? Come on. Pigeon Goddess, Offering of the Pigeon Goddess Girl. That's at page 87. I have that shorthand in my mind, which sometimes wanders too far from the title, and I never find anything. Yeah, the Pigeon Goddess. Offering the Pigeon Goddess Girl. We can fit it in. So, Namo Guru. That's to his, he always mentions more. In other words, a little clue. I'm nothing without my teacher. The Jetson Milarepa left Yomo and journeyed to Tibet, according to prophecy. I don't know where Yomo is and what Tibetan was in those days, but anyway, in a cave in Kutang, while alone like a rhinoceros. And the idea is rhinoceros are traditionally solitary animals. They don't run in herds and all. That's a good thing, because if a rhinoceros herd showed up, that's it. We're done. He was residing in a state of luminosity. There came a pigeon wearing a dangling gold earring. As though prostrating, the pigeon bowed her body and nodded her head as she circumambulated Milarepa many times. Then she flew in the direction of the Immaculate Rock. Sangwa Drak in Tibetan, he puts that down. We're all happy now that we know that? Good. Knowing that this was the invitation of a spirit, the Jetson Milarepa, went over to her. There sat a pile of white rice, which the pigeon began offering to him with her beak. As before, she prostrated and circumambulated, and then flew away. The Jetson, with great joy and amazement, sang this song of realization. Eh ma ho, Marpa of Lodrak, his teacher, who has been so kind. By remembering you from my heart, I meditate with you there. Again and again I supplicate you to never separate from me. Making one's mind with the Guru's mind is so blissful. La, the nature of appearances, is pointed out as birthless Dharmakaya. And behind these appearances is a luminous Dharmakaya, the ultimate. Speaking of pigeon goddesses, good evening. We're talking Milarepa. Oh, you got on the phone already, so I don't have to tell you. All right.
I was listening to the pigeon story.
The pigeon, yeah, wear a hat. Because they gather, you know. And or bring an umbrella, I don't know. Eugene, you okay?
Jeez.
Have some tea. As they merge, uncontrived, and there's a footnote here, with the state of Dharmakaya. So the footnote is the point here is that not that the appearance of emptiness is newly joined, but that they have been inseparable from the outset. So what we see, appearances and emptiness, are conjoined. They're there. Form is empty. Emptiness is a form. That's it. The same applies to other factors described as merging in the following stanzas. So they've been always there. As they merge uncontrived with the state of Dharmakaya, I'm not concerned whether some views are high and others low. This uncontrived mind is so blissful indeed. Milarepa is saying this to the beat of his, whatever it is he played. Well, he had a damien, a stringed instrument. This nature of mind is luminosity-emptiness. That luminosity emptiness is pointed out as awareness, and they merge in the uncontrived innate state. I'm not concerned over good or bad meditation. This uncontrived mind is so blissful indeed. I have to mention Thrango Rinpoche's advice. Just say when you meditate, oh, this is not too good, not too bad. I'm content. I did it. That's all. Don't start being your own critic and going crazy. Whatever you can do at that time. Sometimes very good, sometimes not so hot and all that. That's all right. You did it. Be happy with that. Take the merit and run. No. The sixfold collection, clear light in its own place, is pointed out as non-dual, free of perceiver and perceived, and both pleasure and pain are merged into one. With this body uncontrived in its primordial state, I am not concerned over right or wrong conduct. This uncontrived mind is so blissful indeed. The fruition is the nature of Dharmakaya. The varieties pointed out as Nirmanakaya. That's what can be seen by what be form body. Dharmakaya is the ultimate state of the mind. Everything when encountered is merged with the state of liberation, but I have no hope for any fruition. This uncontrived mind is so blissful indeed. When Milarepa had sung that the pigeon returned, this time with 7 companions, just as before, they prostrated and circumambulated the Jetson. They circumambulated Milarepa. He thought, these are most certainly spirits, so we'll have to see if they speak honestly or not. This guy's critical. He's not kidding. Who are you all and why have you come here? He asked them. The Devis, the goddess in female form, these are goddesses. Okay, that's why the word pigeon goddess, perform magic revealing their own bodily forms. The leader of them who had come previously said, we are all Devis or goddesses who have faith in you and have come to request the Dharma. Please teach us. In response to this request, the Jetson sang this song of realization. Song of realization means advice, do this. And, Lord emanated Guru, who is so wondrous, with no small compassion, please grant your blessing. You whose miraculous conduct is in accord with the Dharma, who appeared before in a pigeon's form, you 8 wonderfully beautiful Devis. If you wish to practice the sublime pure Dharma, please keep the meaning of this song within your minds. Generally, the mundane comfort in the world, though it seems very pleasant, quickly departs. In particular, the view of you noble ladies, though it seems high, there's nothing stable about that. The householder's way with its suffering of samsara, though it seems very good, there is much pain involved. Excellent children of noble bloodlines, if they've no resourcefulness themselves, they'll have much distress. Students who have an excellent guru, if their conduct is poor, then to samsara they fall. You emanated pigeon goddesses, though you request the Dharma, really trusting it is hard. You must practice the genuine Dharma. You must see as faulty beyond any doubt the good qualities of this mundane world. And here's very big advice. Understand adverse conditions that arise in this life to be the companion to enlightenment. A bomb. This is a big thing. He says this many times. So understand adverse conditions that arise in this life to be the companion of enlightenment. For this man, adverse conditions are incredibly kind, himself in other words. You should also understand it this way. You're burning karma, and it's necessary. So yes, I can't stand it. You curse and scream, piss and moan, whatever you want to call it. But it's nature. Don't panic. This is very good. You use this. This is, what is it? Fertilizer. You know what it takes to make a rose. I can't say it on... It's enzyme, probably worse than that, if there is a... Thus he sang. Then the Devi, smiling, said, yes, we will do so. And they prostrated and circumambulated him. The Jetson asked, why is it that you appeared as before as pigeons? Yeah, what is this pigeon act here? Hey. They replied, you have no attachment at all to this life or your own benefit. In order to accomplish enlightenment for the benefit of others, you have abandoned distractions and remain alone, engaged in meditative concentration without interruption. They're praising him. Seeing this with our own divine eye and with faith, we came to request the Dharma. We appeared in this way to hide ourselves from people with negativity. Now, please, come to our divine realm and teach the Dharma. So, didn't want to attract, that element of men. I don't know. So, the Jetson then said, for the entirety of this life, I will remain in the realm of humans to benefit beings. And although he can probably go elsewhere. Since the divine realms are also without any essence, they're empty, there is no need for them. Even if I were to go there, I would have nothing different to say than this. You should all practice this way. Then he sang this song of realization. I bow at the feet of Marpa from Lodrak. Father Guru, with your blessings, please grant me siddhi, accomplishments. You 8 beautiful female goddesses. This white rice, the food of meditative concentration and siddhi, has revived my body and my practice will flourish. I'll repay this kindness with the Dharma. Listen attentively and keep it in your minds. The white and radiant celestial royal seat, though you've managed to get to it, is without any essence. It's also empty. The youthfulness and beauty of you Devis, though it's a pleasant appearance, will quickly go. This illusory deception, a magical display, though for the enjoyment is great, is a cause for downfall. Though the enjoyment is great, is a cause for downfall. The suffering of the 6 beings of samsara, when one ponders them, are deeply disheartening. Should you wish to practice Dharma for their sake, then supplicate the 3 precious jewels, meditate on the 6 beings as your own parents, make offerings to the Guru Lord, give generously to the impoverished, dedicate your virtue for the 6 beings' benefit. Always meditate on the uncertainty of the time of death. When one's body with one's body as the Yiram deity, you appear as a deity. So tantric practice, you'll become the deity. Utter the profound speech of mantra. Meditate on self-aware emptiness wisdom and continuously place your own mind as your witness. Then they said, we are ignorant sentient beings with afflictions firmly entrenched within our minds. Please teach us a method on which to rely for remedying this state of mindfulness, this state with mindfulness. Let me get out of scattered mind. Then he sang this song of realization. I bow at the feet of Marpa, who is so kind. Grant your blessing that remedies will arise in my mind stream. You Devis are endowed with faith. If you want to practice in a continual way inside, meditate with the concentration of shamatha, one point in mind, calm abiding, pliancy, whatever you want. To abandon activity is one great ornament. Outside, stably take hold of the antidote. To relax body and speech is one great ornament. Continually take the seat of mindfulness. To have few affairs is one great ornament. When adverse conditions give the mind difficulty, be on the lookout for the arising of aggression. That's a time when there's frustration that anger just shows its face, takes advantage. Be careful. The depression and, that sort of unhappiness opens the door. So you got to be to anger. Be careful. When adverse conditions give the mind difficulty, be on the lookout for the arising of aggression. There it is. When encountering money and things of desire, be on the lookout for the arising of attachment. When the weapon of harsh speech falls upon you, be on the lookout for your ear's delusion. When accompanying friends that are equal to yourself, be on the lookout for the arising of jealousy. When praise and honor come your way, be on the lookout for the arising of pride. At all times and in every way, tame the evil demons within your mind stream. And finally, should 100 learned and righteous ones speak, there will be no better advice than this. Now practice with joy in meditation. When Milarepa had sang this, the Devis rejoiced with great delight. The Devis enjoyed. Then, again transforming into pigeons, they went off to the celestial realms. The Jetson, being quite pleased with the result and with his practice flourishing, went to Drakyavajra fortress. This is the cycle of the offering of the pigeon goddess girl. Here also concludes the cycle that tells primarily of Milarepa's binding under oath the harm-inflicting spirits. So that's the story of the pigeon goddesses, as requested by the Jetsunma, Lavinia, Churab, Pure Dharma Lavinia. That's her name, Churab. Quickly, we have to talk about death. This is from, I didn't get a chance to do here he comments on his older brother's death. And it's funny, auspicious, today his younger brother died. Nari Rinpoche. Very good friend of Tibetson, a lay person with kids, family. Yeah. Spoke my language, filthy remarks, things like that, what bullshit, things like that. Very down to earth, but very, 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 very advanced. Seriously. We always had a good friend. Nikki's a good friend. When Nikki needed things in Dharamsala, he was there. So we'll do that next time. We'll talk about that. On karma and prolonging life unnecessary. Here's the question. Following what you have said about karma, if one is in a healing profession, what are the karmic responsibilities regarding interfering or preventing the death process from taking place or prolonging life unnecessarily? This is the healthcare worker. So, generally speaking, His Holiness says, and this is like 25, 30 years ago, I don't see any contradiction between a health professional helping a patient to remain alive and the karmic responsibilities involved in it. Because when we talk of death from the Buddhist perspective, it is experienced as a result of many factors, not just karma alone. There would be a death experience as a result of karmic consequence. For instance, if the karmic potentials have been exhausted, you did something that karma was worth 100 years or so, or 50 years. That's it. When that's done, nothing can prolong it. The long life prayers we do are for untimely death. We have the karma to live long, maybe 100 years, but now something's happening, we're getting sick and all that. So those things, the contributing factors starting to wane, we can correct that with the sadhana that we do. What's laid out for us, I don't know. That's it. There'll be, if the karmic potential is exhausted, or sometimes the death can be an untimely one as a consequence of circumstantial condition. In some cases, death can be experienced not because of the exhaustion of full fruition of karma, but because of an exhaustion of the meritorious potential. In other words, the potential to keep it. There's supplemental karma. What do they call that? Completing karma. There's throwing karma for the life, completing karma, whatever the word is in Tibetan. Similarly, there are different types of illness, karmically caused illnesses versus the illness for which the primary condition or cause is more external or more internal. The karmically caused death refers to a situation in which, in spite of all possible means of preventing it, death cannot be avoided. End of story. Generally speaking, that type of experience of death is considered karmically caused. Moreover, in the case of sudden death, when the conditions can be seen as more external, even then karma plays a role. For instance, in the case of prolonging someone's life, the very fact that it is possible to prolong it, or that there are conditions for prolonging it, is in a way a consequence of karma. You put yourself in a position where there are these medicines, there are these interventions. Actually, I have noticed even among Tibetans that sometimes people as individuals, human beings, this is good advice now, do not take the initiative and that they use karma as a sort of excuse. It's karma. You know. I think that this is absolutely wrong. Who creates karma? We ourselves, by our actions, create karma. For example, if I want to write something down, that very action creates new circumstances and causes some other result or event. Cause and effect's always working. You do something, you're creating causes, you're going to get the effect. It is cause and effect, over and over again. To think that karma is some sort of independent energy is wrong. You're involved in it. Hello? Our daily lives, our good food, our good work, our relaxation, everything is through action. That is your karma created the conditions that, I got to see. Let me relax. Good karma. This would be a little cheering to good karma. It is all action and result, action and result. What? Whose action? Our action. This is like a protest march here. Sometimes I think there is some kind of misunderstanding when we talk about karma. Even if you have already accumulated some negative karma, you still have opportunity to change or to overwhelm that negative karma by virtuous karma. So you shouldn't think you're like plopped around like a boat in the ocean, with no motor. So everything depends on our own action. That is important. As a Buddhist practitioner, it is very essential to know that. A true practicing Buddhist will have a conviction in the existence of Buddha nature, which allows the possibility of attaining the fully enlightened state, a state of perfection. If that is the case, then why can't the individual have the conviction that he or she can overcome various problems? Why? You can. That's it. We're not stuck. The theory or doctrine of karma involves a lot of complex issues, so it is impossible to merely generalize and say that everything is a product or consequence of karma. For instance, in the case of my present physical body, this is Holiness talking, like my hand here, the fact that this part of my body is so intimately linked with my experience and my physical sensations of pain and pleasure is very evident. But if we were to trace the physical cause of this particular part of my body, we could trace it back to the beginning of time. Beginning of time. This is interesting. It is a material phenomenon or a product of a material phenomenon, which can be traced to an earlier state and an earlier state and so on until we reach a state in which it is a pure atom or particle. According to Buddhist literature, that particle is technically called space particle. It's Kalachakra's nomenclature.
But there is no beginning of time, beginningless time.
Probably. He's using the expanse, but to show you that everything goes back to a source. Yeah, time also is a projection. We created that. And what does it depend on? Things deteriorating, travel from one place, all those things. Einstein talked about this. You probably read him, right? You're tired.
I mean,
Let's hear it,
let's not
Eugene.
derail
Let's derail. This is kitchen table here. No.
I mean, there's still a lot of argument about that ongoing. There's ultimately no way to know empirically.
Yeah, there is no beginning, because then what causes, is everything cause and effect, or what causes that? I don't know. It's very difficult. We should have this conversation sometimes, but after we eat. So we're more rested.
Let me put it
So-
this way, from the perspective of physics, it is not a meaningful question. Measurement ends at the quote-unquote beginning of time. You can't, there's anything beyond that is purely hypothetical. There's nothing we can measure about it. So, I mean, physics is empirical. It's talking about things you can measure. If
Yes,
you can't
yes,
measure,
yes.
then it doesn't have anything to say about it.
And measure something everyone can convene on and agree
This
about.
does not mean it doesn't exist. It just means physics has nothing to say about it.
Nothing. See? Very good thinking here. That's why Eugene is on staff here. A very fat salary he gets,
Yeah, paid very
plus
high.
perks.
We need a sign, we need a
All
sign.
kinds of
Trips to
perks.
North Carolina on the
I
house.
have this special chair just for me.
That's right. What?
We need a scientist in the group.
We have.
Well, I regret to inform you.
base particles of the kala chakra. So as a result of this process of evolution throughout billions of years, that minute particle is now fully evolved into this animate physical body, which can act as a basis for the arising of sensations of pain and pleasure. So the fact that this body is my body may be seen as a result of karma, but the fact that this body is a consequence of the beginningless continuum, beginningless, there he goes,
Yes, okay, good.
continuum of material particles cannot be seen as a product of karma. It is simply the law of nature. Material objects come from material sources. So similarly, when we look at the difference between mind and body, we find that there are certain central features that distinguish the two. For instance, material phenomena have certain features that make them physical or material. They are obstructive, whereas mental phenomena have the nature of clarity. Mental phenomena doesn't obstruct. Luminosity and knowing, but they are not physical, they are not obstructive. The fact that these two exist in such a contrasting or different way is simply a law of nature, and he leaves it at that. Don't go crazy there, you see. We cannot say it is because of karma that there are two different things. Mahayana Buddhist literature takes this complexity of reality into account and shows that there are different ways of approaching the nature of reality. Buddhist literature mentions 4 principles for understanding the nature of reality. One is the principle of logical inference, which can be applied on the basis of our understanding of the ultimate nature of reality, which can be applied only if there is a certain causal connection or interrelatedness between phenomena. That's when you can infer, when there's a connection between the fact that something can give rise to something else, or that when certain things aggregate, they can result in a certain outcome. Then you could use inference. On the basis of that principle of dependence, we can apply logical inference. And these are the 4 things. There's nature, dependence, logic, and so on. And then that principle of dependence is possible because, for instance, matter and mind, or matter and consciousness, enjoy a different status of existence or different characteristics. Matter and mind, different status of existence and characteristics. Okay? The fact that there are such differences is simply a law of nature. That's the way things are, and you don't have to argue anymore about it. That's it. Don't go waste your time. And in the Mahayana Buddhist literature, that is known as the principle of natural law. Taking into account this complexity of the nature of reality, we have to approach an understanding of the nature of reality by many different avenues of reasoning. So determining the influence of karma is difficult. Although we can say that a lot of things that we experience are products of or consequences of karma, determining how far the karmic influence reaches and how much is a consequence of the mechanisms of the natural law is open to dispute. Where is karma involved and where is just natural law involved? It's open to dispute. The main point here is not saying, it's just karma, you can't do anything about it. That's stupid. That doesn't make sense. It is something that we should examine and understand, but it is very difficult. He's warning us. That's it. How much time do we have left? 8:03. We'll be on time. Next time we'll start with facing the death of friends. Because he
That
just,
was all an answer to that one question.
yeah,
That's some
it goes
answer.
on. Yeah, it's an answer, and it has a lot in it. You know, the 4 rule. It's a lot. This is live. All this was taken and written down. You know, recorded and typed out by, what's her name? Who's involved in this one? Oh, Tuptin Chimpa. All right, so you know the right words were used, so it demands further thought. When you have time, when you get a seat. So, Aaron, you have more names, right?
Jesse Jackson?
Jesse Jackson, some actor died. Nari Rinpoche, no, but Nari Rinpoche, we're not going to ask to go to a pure realm. No, we want him back here. That's why we said Shanti Deva's book. We read Shanti Deva's 10th chapter for him.
Okay.
It's different. He's a Rinpoche. His death and rebirth is deliberate. So by asking him to come back,
Okay.
that's it. Like upstairs we have Chongla's things. Your things are here, Rinpoche. Please come back to us. So we're directing the show here. You better show up. We're making him an offering he can't refuse. So the 3 jewels, someone else, Jesse Jackson was an actor who died.
Robert Duvall died the other
Robert Duvall, yes, a good actor, a real good actor. I prostrate to the omniscient one.
Oh, wait,
That's-
I'm sorry. Is who died, the skiers in the avalanche.
Okay, the skiers, the 8 of them, 9 or whatever, yeah, whatever. And you add your own, or text us. I prostrate to the omniscient one. Thus the Buddha, Bhagavat, Tathagata, Arahat, Samyak Sang Buddha, the learned and virtuous one, the Sugata, the knower of the world, the charioteer and tamer of beings, the unsurpassable one, the teacher of devas and humans is the Buddha Bhagavat. The Tathagata is in accord with all merit. He does not waste the roots of virtue. He is completely ornamented with all patience. He is the basis of the treasures of merit. He is adorned with the minor marks. He blossoms with the flowers of the major marks. His activity is timely and appropriate. Seeing him, he is without disharmony. He brings true joy to those who long with faith. His knowledge cannot be overpowered. His strength cannot be challenged. He is the teacher of all sentient beings. He is the father of bodhisattvas. He is the king of noble ones. He is the guide of those who journey to the city of nirvana. He possesses immeasurable wisdom, inconceivable confidence. His speech is completely pure. His melody is pleasing. One never has enough of seeing him. His form is incomparable. He's not stained by the realm of desire. He's not stained by the realm of form. He is not affected by the formless realm. He is completely liberated from suffering. He is completely and utterly liberated from the skandhas. He is not possessed with dhatus. His ayatanas are controlled. He has completely cut the knots. He is completely liberated from extreme torment. He is liberated from craving. He has crossed over the river. He is perfected in all the wisdom. He abides in the wisdom of the Buddha Bhagavats, who arise in the past, present, and future. He does not abide in nirvana. He abides in the ultimate perfection. He dwells on the bhumi where he sees all sentient beings. All these are the perfect virtues of the greatness of the Buddha Bhagavat. The holy Dharma is good at the beginning, good in the middle, and good at the end. Its meaning is excellent. Its words are excellent. It is uncorrupted. It is completely perfect and completely pure. It completely purifies. The Bhagavat teaches the Dharma well. It brings complete vision. It is free from sickness. It is always timely. It directs one further. Seeing it fulfills one's purpose. It brings discriminating insight for the wise. The Dharma, which is taught by the Bhagavat, is revealed properly in the Vinaya. It is renunciation. It causes one to arrive at perfect enlightenment. It is without contradiction. It is pithy. It is trustworthy and puts an end to the journey. As for the Sangha of the great Jnana, they enter completely. They enter insightfully. They enter straightforwardly. They enter harmoniously. They are worthy of veneration with joined palms. They are worthy of receiving prostration. They are a field of glorious merit. They are completely capable of receiving all gifts. They are an object of generosity. They are a great object of complete generosity. The protector who possesses great kindness, the omniscient teacher, the basis of oceans of merit and virtue, I prostrate to the Tathagata. Pure, the cause of freedom from passion, virtuous, liberating from the lower realms. This alone is the supreme ultimate truth. I prostrate to the Dharma, which is peace. Having been liberated, they show the path to liberation. They are fully dedicated to disciplines. They are a holy field of merit and possess virtue. I prostrate to the Sangha. I prostrate to the Buddha, the leader. I prostrate to the Dharma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the community. I prostrate respectfully and always to these three. The Buddha's virtues are inconceivable. The Dharma's virtues are inconceivable. The Sangha's virtues are inconceivable. Having faith in these inconceivables, therefore the fruitions are inconceivable. May they be born in a completely pure realm. Next we have the prayer, 8 verses on training the mind. And one Buddhist teacher, I think Losang Yanten, great teacher, great nun, she says this is a dangerous prayer because you think because you understand that you can do it. So that's very good. I recommend her highly, by the way. Losang Yanten, she's teaching out at my Trippa College in Oregon, I think Portland, Oregon, one of those places. And is it Portland or wherever that's located? She occasionally comes to Shantideva section in Brooklyn. Very good teacher. A lot of videos on YouTube of
How do you spell her name?
Yon Lozang, like Lozang Drakpa Sankapa, Yonten, Yonton, good qualities. Sankapa's name and good qualities. From Montana. Taught many years in Australia and then came back here. Very humorous, very down to earth. He does things like when she's doing a Zoom talk, she says, you don't have to worry, it's only the top of you. If you're in your PJs, don't worry, we don't care. We're very informal here. I like that. You know, the more informal, the better, because that's the only way I understand. Anyway, 8 verses, shut up. Sorry. With the determination to accomplish the highest welfare of all sentient beings who surpass even a wish-granting jewel, I will learn to hold them supremely dear. Whenever I associate with others, I will learn, think of myself as the lowest amongst all, and respectfully hold others to be supreme from the very depths of my heart. In all actions, I will learn to search into my mind, and as soon as a disturbing emotion arises, endangering myself and others, I will firmly face and avert it. I will learn to cherish ill-natured beings and those oppressed by strong misdeeds and sufferings, as if I had found a precious treasure difficult to find. When others out of jealousy treat me badly, with abuse, slander, and so on, I will learn to take all loss and offer the victory to them. When the one whom I had benefited with great hope unreasonably hurts me very badly, I will learn to view that person as an excellent spiritual guide. In short, I will learn to offer to everyone, without exception, all help and happiness directly and indirectly, and respectfully take upon myself all harm and suffering of my mothers. I will learn to keep all these practices undefiled by the stains of the 8 worldly concerns, and by understanding all phenomena as like illusions, be released from the bondage of attachment. Our final prayer for the swift return of Rato Chungla Rinpoche, right over here behind me, if you can see, written by His Holiness Dalai Lama. Exalted wisdom of all victors gathered in a drop, sole refuge manifest in the form of the one wearing saffron robes, Guru Lozang Tubuang Dorje Chang, please bear witness here today that our prayers may be fulfilled. We beseech the great torch of doctrine, accomplishing from long ago the vast waves of aspirational prayers, thought of speech of the victor Lozang's teachings, spreading them to the ends of the earth by means of explanation and practice. Though holding the commitment, I will invite all beings to be my guests in unsurpassed great awakening, yet you have withdrawn the activities of the form body that serves the welfare of others. Is that worthy of the supreme among beings, bodhisattvas? Though impossible for you till cyclic existence's end to abandon your commitment to liberate all beings, we beseech the new son of Nirmanakaya to swiftly return from the realm of Dharmakaya, brought forth by bodhicitta drawn by 7 steeds. Having reached the far limits of scholarship, religious life, and goodness, please come swiftly as an unrivaled supreme emanation, full holder of the sage's teachings, and wish-fulfilling jewel, return as the glory of Lozang Tenpe. Magnificent truth of the 3 precious jewels, Mahakala, Karmayama, and Sri Mata Devi, and the ocean of Dharma protectors, may you spontaneously fulfill our wish, the swift blossoming of the reincarnation's fresh moonlight face. So this concludes tonight's presentation. Our next Dharma presentation and the celebration of the White Terrace Sadhana, Saturday at 1 o'clock, right here in South Orange, the parsonage. The instructions how to get there are on our website. And the next Dharma talk will be Monday night, 7 o'clock, 151 West 30th Street, right in the middle of Manhattan. Stone's throw, if you want, or eggplant throw from Penn Station, right in the middle, at 7 o'clock, and then following Wednesday, right back here again. Our website tells you everything you need to know. So thank you for your patient listening. Big love to all of you. And may the snow melt more quickly.